Tonight on CTV News, we bring you more on the shooting at Drake and Overland.
Then, OtterBox is partnering with CSU to provide students with scholarships.
And we explore the new solar-powered trash cans on campus. All this and more on CTV News starting now.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Lauren Willson.
And I'm Edgar Cedillo. Here's what's happening in the news near you. Fort Collins police arrested a woman early this morning following a shooting that left one man dead. Officers responded to a disturbance to a residence off Drake Road and Overland Trail just after midnight. Police have confirmed that 63-year-old Nancy Baker was arrested in connection with the shooting. Baker is being held on charges of domestic violence and first-degree murder. The Larimer County Coroner's Office will release the identity of the man as well as the cause of death after identifying the next of his kin.
Well, it's the end of an era. Oscar, Housing and Dining Services composting system, is approaching the end of its life. The machine was purchased by HDS in 2011, but soon it will no longer be in use. Oscar uses the food waste from campus and the organic waste from the vet school to produce uncured compost. CSU plans to use Oscar until it collapses, and moving forward, the university will use a windrow system, which will be a more efficient way to process organic waste.
Were you paying attention to your email on Sunday? Many were shocked to receive an email from University President Tony Frank announcing that he will be stepping away from his position and into a full-time position as Chancellor of the Colorado State University system starting in July of 2019. We now go live to reporter Ren Wadsworth at the Administration Building for more information.
I'm Ren Wadsworth, and I'm reporting to you live in front of the Admin Building. Our University President, Tony Frank, informed the student body earlier this week of his decision to step down from his position as president via email. After delving into some nostalgic thoughts about the university, President Frank remarked that working for CSU had been one of the greatest privileges of his life. He goes on to describe his pride in all of the university has been doing during his decade of service and how eager he is to see what else he accomplished. Much to the dismay of many students, the email stated Tony Frank will be concluding his tenure as president on July 1st, 2019. However, it has been confirmed he will continue to hold the position of Chancellor of the CSU system that he's held since 2015. President Tony Frank will be discussing this more in detail at the principal address and university picnic held on Wednesday, October 3rd at 11:30 in the Open. That's all I have for you today. I'm Ren Wadsworth. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Ren, for that update. I think everyone was really surprised to receive that email.
Yeah, a couple of my friends were saying that they were shocked, but some of the seniors that I've spoken to were pretty happy that they still get to shake Tony Frank's hand at their graduation, so lucky for them.
I think people are just as feared they won't be seeing that beard around campus anymore.
We're going to certainly miss that beard.
As a university employee, what would you like your administration to know about your job? The new Employee Climate Survey launching today is your chance to share what you think is working at CSU. The survey is strictly anonymous in hopes that employees will be candid with managers at all levels in order to enact change campus-wide. The Office of the Vice President for Diversity conducts this survey every 2 years, and the findings are shared with the Office of the President and the Shared Governance Councils, who then put the suggestions into action.
Next time you throw away your coffee cup, you might notice something new about the trash cans on campus. All outdoor trash cans and recycling bins at CSU were being replaced by Big Bellies, waste composting machines that run on solar-powered batteries. Big Bellies are connected to an online server that notifies facilities management when the machines are 65% full. Then they automatically compact the trash can and recyclables by using solar-powered energy. According to facilities management, each of the compacted unit weighs about 35 pounds, and the smaller size reduces transportation and fuel costs. Facilities management implemented the new waste bins as a part of the 2-year trial to minimize trash pickup times, disruption of student foot traffic, and cost of waste removal. For more information on these eco-friendly waste bins, you can contact CSU Facilities Management at 970-491-0077.
In November, Coloradans will have the chance to vote on many contentious issues, including fracking. If passed, Initiative 97 and Proposition 112 would require new fracking projects to be set back at least 2,500 feet from all occupied buildings. That is more than double the existing distance requirement. Industry groups have countered with their own proposal, Amendment 74, that would force the government to compensate landowners for any loss in property values due to fracking.
CSU students now have the opportunity to win free in-state tuition through a new ethics competition founded by OtterBox. The College of Business OtterBox Ethics Challenge is designed to inspire students to use ethical practices in all aspects of their lives. The challenge is open to all students enrolled in ethics and contemporary organizations who still have a full year left at CSU starting the fall 2018 semester. OtterBox has donated over $100,000 in scholarships, and each member of the winning team will receive a scholarship equivalent to a full year of in-state tuition. The deadline to sign up for the Ethics Challenge is October 12th by 10 in the morning.
Last week, we introduced the National Youth of the Year Award recipient, Malachi Haynes. Haynes spent time working with the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Denver, earned him nationwide recognition. The award was received in Washington, D.C. last week, and Haynes has returned to campus to continue his academic pursuits as a first-year student. You can tune in next week here on CTV for more updates following this story.
With only 4 weeks to go until the election, Colorado voters will be heading to the polls to elect their next elected officials, from the governor to local representatives at the state level. Here at CTV, we're taking a closer look at the candidates and where they stand on issues, so whichever way you choose to vote, you can feel like you are making the most informed decision. Let's dive right into the governor's race between Democratic candidate Jared Polis and the Republican candidate Walker Stapleton. Colorado's 2nd Congressional District Representative Jared Polis is running on the Democratic ticket. As far as Polis's plan for what he plans to do in Colorado, he's in favor of universal health care for all Coloradans, supports cities and counties enacting their own minimum wage laws. Polis wants to establish full-day kindergarten in all schools and then wants to run Colorado on 100% clean energy by 2040. Looking at State Treasurer Walker Stapleton, who is running on the Republican candidate, Stapleton wants Colorado to have access to full health care without making it single-payer and raising taxes. Stapleton favors school choice and plans on having a tax holiday in August for the back-to-school season. He plans to protect the Second Amendment and has vowed to crack down on sanctuary cities in the state. Now looking at the Attorney General's race between George Brockler and Phil Weiser. These candidates have policy differences, but both want to protect Colorado from government overreach when it comes to Colorado's marijuana law. Current District Attorney George Brockler is perhaps best known for prosecuting the Aurora Theater shooting. Brockler wants to protect Colorado's water laws. If elected Attorney General, Brockler wants to create units for human trafficking, drug narcotics, cold case, and elder abuse prosecution. Looking at CU Boulder's former Dean of Law, Phil Weiser wants to protect dreamers living in the state. He wants more gun control reform by raising the purchase age limit to 25. Similar to Brockler, Weiser wants to protect Colorado's water, air, and land laws. Taking a look at the closer elections that we have going on in the state, we have 2nd Congressional District, which covers all the way from Fort Collins down to Loveland, Broomfield, and then most of Colorado's high country towns. On this ticket, we have Peter Yu, who he wants to create affordable health care again without going to a universal plan. He wants less government regulation in order to keep the economy running. Taking a look at Jonah Hughes on the Democratic ticket, he wants to increase investments in renewable energy, supports full universal health care, and also wants to protect women's reproductive rights and is in favor of sensible gun control. Race that most of the nation will also be keeping an eye on is Colorado's 6th Congressional District, which covers Denver's northern suburbs, eastern suburbs, including Aurora, then south down to Highlands Ranch and Littleton. This race between current Representative Mike Kaufman and Jason Crow. Both have a military background in a district that's home to Buckley Air Force Base. Jason Crow, the Democrat, is looking to unseat Mike Kaufman and wants to recommit Colorado to the Paris Climate Accord. He favors background checks on guns and wants to restrict high capacity and bump stocks in the state. He's also in favor of increasing the federal minimum wage laws and wants better access to higher education by making student loans more accessible as well as federal grants. Looking at Mike Kaufman, the current representative, he takes a hardline stance on fixing the Veterans Affairs because of the budget issues that affected the VA hospital in Aurora. Given that this community is very diverse and has a large population of immigrants, Kaufman takes a more lenient stance on immigration, though he doesn't want an easy pathway to citizenship for those who came here legally, but does favor a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers if they work, go to school, or join the military. Taking a look at the congressional state races in Larimer County, we have District 49, which is in yellow, District 53, which covers the eastern part of Fort Collins, and 52 as well. In this district, we have Joanne Janal, who is the Democratic candidate. She is running against Donna Walter. Looking at District 53, Jenny Arndt is running unopposed in the district, which covers everything west of College Avenue. Democrat Connor Duffy is running in District 49, which covers most of Larimer County except for Loveland and Fort Collins. He's running against current Representative Republican Perry Buck. In the Larimer County Commissioner's race, we have John Kafalas running on the Democratic ticket, Sean Doherty, who's running on the Republican ticket. We should note that Sean Doherty was just appointed to the Commissioner's seat. He's filling the late Lou Gator's terms as he finishes out his term. Taking a look at the propositions that we have going on in the state, voters will have the chance to vote yes or no on these. Initiative 109, which plans to which requires the state to issue $3.5 billion in funds to fund transportation throughout the state. Proposition 110 is pretty similar to Proposition 109. That is a sales tax increase of 0.62 that would fund transportation throughout the state. Next, Proposition 112, which we talked about earlier in the show, is a oil and gas development, which would set a minimum distance of development to 2,500 feet from occupied buildings. The last one we have is Amendment 73, which looks to increase taxes to those who make more than $150,000 in the state. This amendment would increase education funding throughout the state as a result. We have some information about Election Day ballot drop-off locations closest to campus. We have the Larimer County Courthouse at 200 West Oak. That will be available starting once mail-out ballots go out. The King Soopers on North College, that drop-off location will only be taking ballots November 2nd through the 6th. Polling centers and voter services will be offered in the LSC in the North Ballroom and as well as at the Larimer County Courthouse. Well, that's all we have for News Ramp. Stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment from the people you know.